Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. So one of my subscribers reminded me that I did promise to make the video and I didn't. I'm sorry about that. So I'm making it now for the 14mm Rivoli, and yes, I have cat hair on my mat because the cat was jumping all over me while I was in the living room. And I had started this and realized I missed a few beads in the very front. Not that you needed all that information, but but you got it anyway. So we're going to be using 15-0. I'm using Toho 15-0 silver lined frosted crystal and 11-0 crystal silver lined matte, which is the same thing. And 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm using Miyuki 3mm bugle beads. I have one stuck in there, and white pearl Ceylon, because that's what I have. So if you have colors that match, use them. You don't have to use the colors I'm using. So we're first going to pick up 16 15-0s. And then we're going to go through all of them. Let me see how many you have here. 4, 8, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13. Wait, 11 down there, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let me just make sure. Okay, we got 4, 8, 12, and 16. Okay. So these are 15-0s. I'm going to drop them down carefully. And we're going to go through all of them again. And I think this is where I went wrong last time. I might have dropped a couple and didn't realize it. But my clue should have been that I only had 7 spokes instead of 8. Should have been my clue, but I didn't get it. I'm just kind of in a rush to get it made. And sometimes I do things like that, and you know how it is, right? Okay. That looks better now. I'm going to pull this out a little bit because I don't need that big of a tail. I'm just going to knot it anyway. Come on out. I know you can. Oh, I went through my thread, I guess. That's okay. I'll knot it there. No biggie. So I'm going to tie it in a knot. And I'm going to tie it one more time. And then I'm going to try to pop my knot into my 15-0, which sometimes can be a little tricky. But we're going to make it so that we don't have to go back into that 15-0 either. Okay, so we're going to go into the next 15-0, right? Pop our knot in, and then the next one. Because, yep, that'll bypass that needle, that seed bead. And then popping that in there. And I'm going to cut this. And I'll burn it later. I want to know where it is. Okay. So now we're going to pick up a 15-0, a bugle, and a 15-0. And I think my 8 11 got in there too. So it's a 15-0, a bugle, a 15-0, and I really hope you're facing the right direction. And we're going through, we're going to skip that 15-0 and go back through the bugle and the 15-0. And then we are going to, so we're coming out of this one, right? We're coming out of this one. We're going to skip that one and go into the next one. These are beautiful, beautiful bugles. And I remember working with bugles and they were all cut up. These are nice and smooth and on the ends. Definitely worth the investment. Okay, so now we're going to go, let me move my scissors. Skipping that 15-0, going back through our bugle. Skipping that next 15-0 and going into the one after it. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to dig out the bicones. Those are 3mm bicones. Okay, so I'm just going to continue that all the way around. A 15-0, a bugle, a 15-0, pull them down, skip our 15-0, go through our bugle, and our 15-0. Skip the next 15-0 on our circle. And again, go through the following one. You guys got that, right? I'm going to do the rest off camera so I don't waste a lot of film time and cut you off. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So, on the last one, so that's our tail right there, right? So our knot is in that bead and we're skipping that bead. So you want to make sure that it's important that you skip that you do that at the beginning so that you know you're skipping that bead. Okay. Now I'm going to count and make sure that I have all 8 spokes on instead of like last time ending up with 7. Oh yeah, all 8. Okay. So now we're coming out of there. We're going to go up into our bugle and come out that we're going into our 15-0, our bugle, and our 15-0. We want to be coming out the 15-0. And now we're going to add 3 11-0s in between each 15-0 on the ends of the bugles. So, like that. And that's what you should have. And when you get towards the end, it's going to dome up on you, but that's what you want because our rivolis are not flat. They're pointed. So, thank you, Patricia, for reminding me, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it sooner. Absent-minded professor. That I am. So I figured it's good to have it on video. I ended up typing the instructions in on another video, and I'm like, that's kind of silly. I should just do the video. That way it's there. And then I'll go back and I'll relabel the other one 18 millimeter. So that way if you need it for reference in the future, you'll know which one to look for. And this one will be 14 millimeter. So I'm going to just label it 14 millimeter Caged Rivoli, and the other one will be 18 millimeter Caged Rivoli. Alright, so we're coming into our last one. We're going to go to that center bead. And then what's going to happen is that, which is what you want, because your Rivoli is going to sit right in there. See that? Don't worry about that. It's a little loose right now. It'll get better. Okay, so from there, we're going to pick up 5 15-0s. And we're going to go through the center of the 11-0s and pull it. And like I said, it's going to dome, and you want that. So I just want to keep an eye on my tail, because I want to pull that out later so I can burn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into that middle one, skipping over those 3. Just pull it tight as you're going along. I mean, not too tight, but because it's going to keep loosening up on you anyway, but you want to kind of keep it even. Okay. Just a few left. And then from there, I think we're going to add 3 for our next row, because this one's a little smaller, so you want to make sure that, like, I tried it with the 5 and it was just way too loose. Way too loose. Looked weird. So you're going into that first one that you started with. Alright. And then you're going to come up to the third 15-0. So you have 4 beads on your needle, and you have those 5 there. Okay, now I'm going to pull it tight. That's our spot for our bicones. So now we're going to add this part, which is 3. So pick up 3 15-0s, go into the center of the last row, and we're going to do that all the way around. Like so. Just going to do that all the way around. How many minutes are we? Please tell me you're facing the right direction. This is like my 5th try, and we're at 16 minutes already. Alright. I have 2 more to do, I think. Alright. Okay, so we're on the last one. We're going to go through that first one that we're coming out of there, and then go up to that middle one of those 3. But before we pull it tight, we're going to put our Rivoli in. Now we can pull it tight. Now, as long as I did everything correctly, it's going to sit right. The last one was sitting off all sorts of weird, and I'm like, why is that doing that? And that's when I realized I only have 7 spokes on. Still looks wonky. Okay, so from here, we're going to add 2 15-0s, because 3 makes it bunch up. And we're going to go into that middle one of the last row. Please tell me I have both seed beads on there. Okay. So I think you guys can figure this out pretty well for yourselves, right? I think this Rivoli might be a little off or something, because it's sitting wonky. Alright. So we're just adding 2 and going into each middle bead of the last row. And then we're going to go around that whole circle that we're adding now. And that'll tighten it up nice and good. You can feel the back just a little bit. So if you can figure out a way, to get that to cover up more, then I would suggest it, but I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to go into this one, and then I'm just going into all the 2 beads that we added all the way around in this circle here. Just the ones that we just added. We're going to skip that middle one. See? My battery's dying. Murphy seriously needs to go bother somebody else. See if this cable's longer. It's probably because I have one video uploading while I'm doing this one. Sorry, I'm plugging you in. So it's going to take a bit for my light to come back on. Should be enough lighting anyway. Okay, so we're going to go through just the 2 beads that we added. Just to tighten that up a little bit. My light should be coming on any second now, which would be nice because it helps me to see better. I'm sure it helps you guys to see better as well. So I would reinforce that circle there. It's always better to be safe than sorry, I think. We're at 22 minutes. So that means I have 9 minutes left before my darling phone cuts me off. What did I just do? I have no idea. Oh, I got my thread stuck. Okay. So now I'm going to work my way up to one of these sections here. You know what? I'm going to go through these 2. And I'll skip these. I'll skip that one and go into these 2. If I can. Because what I want to do is get up to that get up to this bead here. Okay, there we go. So now we're in position to add our bicones. Say, I'm using 3 these are supposed to be 3mm. They look kind of on the large side, but could be because I'm dealing with 15-0 seed beads too. So I'm going to pick up, I think I'm going to pick up a 15-0. These look a little big. A bicone and a 15-0, I think. That should work. And then I'm going to go into that next, the very next middle bead there. Like that. And I have no idea why my light is not coming on yet. So that'll pop that in there. And then we're going to do that all the way around. And then we're going to add our picot on top. So it's a 15-0, the bicone, a 15-0. Through that, it's just going into this spot right here. Like that. I would use a little bit more than a yard of thread because I'm kind of running out of thread, so I might have to add more to finish my piece here. That's my tail. And I wanted it there because I'm gonna burn it off. That's 25 minutes. So that leaves me with 8 minutes. Because my phone likes to just shut off. Or not shut off, but it divides the videos after 33 minutes. So weird. Anyway, hopefully that will change tomorrow. Because I did buy myself that looks big, a tablet, but the holder that I'm using right now does not, the tablet doesn't fit in the holder. So we're going to go through that one. We're at the last one. We're going to go up through the 15-0 and come out the bicone. Then we're going to pick up 5 15-0s. That's an 11-0. Come back through our bicone. Go up 2 of the ones two of the 15-0s we just added. Skip the middle one and go through the next 2. And what that's going to do is pop that bead out for you. Go back through your bicone. Tighten that up some. See, and you'll get a nice point there. So now we're going to go through our bicone. And then, no, we're going through the 15-0, the 11-0, and then that 15-0. And we're going to add a picot to the next one. So I think once you get all the way around, if you wanted to fill in this gap, like once you get all the way around the circle, go back around and fill in that gap, and then that will reinforce things as well. So that's it. That's all there is to that. But like I said, I wanted to get it up because I did promise, and I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner. Okay. Oopsie, don't do that. And I have to add thread, so I think I'll end my video here anyway. We're skipping that middle 15-0 there. And make sure it's sitting on top, because your thread will go on top, so you have to make sure that bead pops up. There you go. Like that. Go back through your bicone. Through the 15-0 next to the bicone. Through the 11-0 on the base circle. And then up the next 15-0 in bicone. And that's all there is to that. And I'm going to end this here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.